What I'm doing here is showing what has to be done before you start to push the wire on through. You take both sides one at a time and put file the sharp edges off of the wire. Now after you've done that, you put the wire into the liner, the Teflon liner here at the back, and push it forward. Now if you have it lined up, if it's straight, if it's nice and straight, it'll go right in. That does not always occur. When it does, I'll show what has to be done to get that. You want to straighten the wire. All but the last inch. The last inch you cannot straighten. This wire is pretty hard. It's very good for crankshafts. It's what almost all of the people who are rebuilding crankshafts use. Alright, now we've got the edge of this. You want to feel that to make sure you don't have anything there that's going to, you want to feel the end of the wire to make sure you don't have anything sharp. Now here again, by the way, be careful of the wire. If you let loose of that, it'll fly around like mad. It'll just, and it could whip you right across the face. To do now is pull the front panel forward here and then push the wire on through. Alright, now you may have seen how the wire entered the nylon tubing there. So if you can't, if the wire is bent a little bit, if it's a sharp bend, it will not go anywhere. Alright, now when you put the plate back on, the reason you pull the plate off is so you can guide the wire into the black nylon tubing that's on the inside of the hoses going up to the gun. Now, we put the nuts here, you just bring them back, and all of this has to be just finger tight. You do not need to put a wrench on it to tighten it up. Here on the cable, on the hoses here, just finger tight. If you use a wrench on there, you would have to use 2 wrenches. One to hold the one piece here and the other to tighten it up. There's no reason to do that unless you were going to be feeding for hours and hours without changing material. Now that we have the wire in there, and the wire has been fed all the way through, it's up in this area. You can't see it, but you get to know where it is after a short period of time, a few times that you do it. Now we turn the unit, we screw the tension device down here, just to Now, everybody has a measuring device on their hand on how tight to tighten this spring, their fingernail. Put your fingernail in. You want to be able to get it in, but that's all. I went just a trace too far. There we go. That's as far as you need to go. Now, all we have to do is run the wire on through from here. Okay. Note, the welding power supply is turned off, even though it would not fire with the door open here anyway. Now you can see both wires have come out. Now you can either cut the wires off or you can loosen the tension and roll some back. Whichever you decide you want to do. Here up at the front, again we have the same kind of fittings. These are just finger tight is all they need to be. This has a micro switch in the lid or door here. If you pull the trigger on the gun, it will not feed the wire or turn on the power supply if the door is open. Up here in the States, it's called OSHA regulations. That has to be there. Now this little lever here is what controls it. So if you want the wire to feed and you want to spray, you close the door. Then the wire will feed and the contactor and the power supply will turn on so that you'll spray.